Hello everybody and welcome to another F1 Manager 24 video. In today's video it is the start of Season 2. Finishing off from Season 1 we got 3rd in the Constructors, and then we got 2nd and 7th in the Drivers, and we were 4th in the pit stop standings. We are renamed $Mox F1 Mega Gamer F1 just because those are our two biggest sponsors. You have seen the livery, but if you haven't, there it is. It looks very nice in my opinion. I know I'm a bit biased because I did design the thing, but facility upgrade. Nice. Well, we have a design complete in a couple of days. Javier Marcos Padros is 88 rating now, which is nice. And the chassis design is complete. We don't have any money to build a chassis because they're quite expensive. Let's go to race targets. Perez we're going to go for 7th or higher, and Russell we're going to go for 8th or higher. Grand Prix.
Wonderful to be back down under for the Australian Grand Prix. As we start a brand new season, the slate is wiped clean and the team's prepared to make an instant impact heading into an exciting year.
The teams will be utilizing the data they gathered from the preseason testing here in Bahrain, hoping that they've got everything they need to make a strong start.
Is it bad that I didn't even look
Stay
through
right
the pre-season testing?
Because we're just getting started.
I mean, the pre-season testing literally does nothing. Hello, heavy rain on Saturday. That could play a big part. So, Sitrep then at the end of FP1. I am very, very happy to say we are P11 and P17, which I know sounds quite bad, and you're probably wondering why I'm happy about that. In every other session where we, in practice we're normally P22 and P21. So to have not pushed at all, I've not done any push laps, to be P11 and P17 I'm very happy with. There is half a second between our drivers which might need sorting out, but that's a positive. Behrman, by the way, in P5, shout out to him. Solid lap from him. But yeah. That was good. So it was Verstappen, Tsunoda, Norris, Leclerc, Behrman, Vesti, Gasly, Antonelli, Piastri, Lawson, Perez, Martins, Albon, Zhou, Ocon, Bedrin, that sounds like something else, Russell, Paul Aaron, Hulkenberg, Doohan, Bottas and Dennis Watkins. A lot of these early sessions in the season can be very difficult because not only do they have to get used to the track, they have to get used to a whole new car because it's a whole new season, a whole new engine because they've got a fresh engine in the car. So yeah, it's going to be quite the challenge. But this is the first session where we have the whole grid in. So we have Leclerc, Alonso, Piastri, Norris, Verstappen, Tsunoda, Sargent, Antonelli, Doohan, Bottas, Albon, Sainz, Ocon, Behrman, Lawson, Hadjar, Hulkenberg, Bortoletto, Gasly and Ricciardo. I'm really excited to see what the Alpines can do, and I'm excited to see that Daniel Ricciardo's back in F1, and I'm excited to see that the Aussies have 3 Aussies, right? Because is Doohan Australian? He is, right? Surely. I've not just made that up, have I? Jack Doohan. I don't know. We're never going to know. I feel like he's Australian, but I'm not sure. Anyway, I shall see you all at the end of FP2. So that is going to be the end of FP2.
Okay, that's the flag.
Quite a lot of long running with George Russell. He's got 100% setup satisfaction, so he just done the first 10 minutes on semi-low fuel and then went the whole session again, just constantly putting laps on. And Perez, we've been trying to sort the setup out, but he's making it really difficult for us. He's currently holding off the reigning world champion though, so if that's a sign of things to come this season, I will be a very happy bunny. But we are currently, that session, P18 and P19. So not quite as high as what we were last session, but still not P20 and P21. And double V carb top 7, by the way, which is a bit outrageous, but the order was Tsunoda, Norris, Hadjar, Piastri, Verstappen, Alonso, Lawson, Sainz, Hulkenberg, Leclerc, Gasly, Behrman, Sargent, Antonelli, Bortoleto, Doohan, Bottas, Perez, Russell, Albon, Ricciardo and Ocon. And into the final part of practice we go. And this is FP3 coming to an end, and we dominated the session. No, we done a lap when it just about went to dries, like DRS was enabled, everybody else in the pits, we were still out there. But it is going to be, by the looks of it, ooh, Perez getting a bit feisty in practice. Hello, I like to see a bit of this. On a Williams, Perez, we're P1 and 2. Williams are P6 and 10, so they look nice. But the grid is very shaken up, and I think it's going to be a wet qualifying, which means you need to use your noggin. And the only other wet qualifying we've done recently, Brazil, we got pole. So, let's see. What can George do in his first qualifying in this team? All shall be revealed. %88% driver's preparation and 93% driver's preparation. Let's go into qualifying.
Welcome to qualifying. Let's find out if all that practice will pay off for the drivers.
These days, it's a much faster layout here at Albert Park, and teams need to focus on getting high and medium speed cornering right to set a good qualifying time.
Now, Karun, you and I were actually just talking about that man there, Max Verstappen. How do you think he'll be feeling today?
We saw some disappointing lap times from them in practice. It could be that the team were experimenting with the car, but the pressure's now on them to deliver.
And with that, let's get back onto the track.
I like how they use in-game data to decide, oh yeah, you know, this person's shown us some disappointing laps. 95% confidence for Perez, that's much better. But yeah, I like how they use in real world, like in-game data to describe like, oh yeah, this person's a bit slow in practice. But it's like, it is just practice, how much can you like look into that? But anyway, let's start in Q1. First qualifying session of the season. This circuit can be quite bad for traffic. If traffic gets in your way, they're probably not getting out of your way. And one thing I've just realised is we're the 4th team in the pit lane now, or the 3rd team in the pit lane now, because we finished 3rd in the constructors. How nice is that? I forget that changes. Albert Park is quite a short track though, so hopefully nobody should get in our way. But let's watch George Russell's first flying lap in this car, and the rain is only a couple minutes away, so it will be one and done here in Q1. Any mistakes on the laps, and they're not going to be good enough laps, you will be out in the first part of qualifying. It's a 25.8 for Perez. It's a 25.7 for Russell, so straight away the new guy in the team is showing up the old experienced hands. It's a 19.0 for Perez. It's a 19.0 for Russell. We've had our purple sector taken away in sectors 1 and 2 now. But Perez is going to come up towards the line. What's it going to be for him? 16.5, and it's a 16.4 for Russell. Let's watch everybody else set their times.
Copy.
We are P5 and P8, and that is going to be it come the end of the session. So we are P5 and P8. The order is as follows. Pierre Gasly tops it in the Aston Martin by 2/10, you know, quite some way. From Leclerc, Piastri, Norris, Russell, Tsunoda, Alonso, Perez, Sainz, Verstappen, Lawson, Sargent, Hulkenberg, Ocon, Ricciardo, Bottas, Bortoleto, Antonelli, Albon, Hadjar, Behrman, and Jack Doohan is plumb. But here we are, ladies and gentlemen, starting our flying lap. Let's watch Sergio Perez this time. We are going to get the driest track, which I'm assuming should mean, hopefully, pole and second. We have about 20 seconds to spare as we come up to the flag, which is nice. Gasly and Lawson go P1 and P2. Norris is also setting into his time, which is P3. Tsunoda pops a time in for pole. Alonso can't improve. 29.2 for Russell. 29.1 for Perez. Verstappen is knocked out. Alonso is knocked out in Q2. It's green and green in the second sector. Sargent's P5, good job to him. Bottas is knocked out, we sort of expected that. I think he just came into the pits anyway. But up towards the line goes George Russell and Sergio Perez. Russell goes P1, Perez goes P1. We've outclassed the field. What is everybody on? Anybody on a flyer? No, they're all in laps, which means Norris, Hulkenberg, Sainz, Verstappen and Alonso out. 3 big shocks out in Q2. But yeah, the order was Perez, Russell, Tsunoda, Piastri, Leclerc, Gasly, Sargent, Lawson, Ocon, Ricciardo, Norris, Hulkenberg, Sainz, Verstappen, Alonso and Bottas all out. But Daniel Ricciardo into Q3, go on lad. Aston Martin look like they've got the 2nd or 3rd best car. Right, we're back on the extreme wets. This lap shouldn't mean anything come the end of qualifying, but you never know when you're going to need a big lap. You never know. So Russell is starting the lap last out of the 2 of them. Or actually, are we the last people that will say a lap? We've got Sargent coming up to the line. He goes P1 with a 30.0. Gasly goes a 10th off that. Perez has set a purple section with a 30.3. And a 30.5 for Russell. We seem to have amazing pace because the track is drying a little bit, but not much. Ricciardo goes slower than the others. And let's see what happens as that gaggle of cars comes across the line. Lawson goes pole, Ocon 4th. Tsunoda, Leclerc, Piastri all set in blistering times. Perez and Russell are going to come up to the line. What can Perez do? He is going to come up towards the line and he goes 2nd by 3/10. And Russell goes 2nd as well.
That was a good lap.
So we are P2 and P3. The tyres are going to be cool for when we start the lap. What's that about? Are Perez's tyres warm? No, they're cold as well. This isn't ideal, but anyway. Let's make sure cool car in isn't on. Yep. We are going to have the driest track, so I'm hoping for a pole position here. The purple sector for Russell, which means he's the fastest of anybody. Tsunoda, Sargent, Leclerc all putting in times. Ocon doesn't improve. These lot need to get out of our way. 2nd purple sector for Russell. Williams gets out of the way nicely. Is this car going to get out of the way nicely? I have no idea who he is, but it's going to be a no. They're not willing to get out of the way. Come on, get out of the way. Perez sets the 2nd sector, which is purple. It's going to be Russell up to the line. It's P1 for Russell, and it's half a second off for Perez. So, is that it? That is it. It is P1 and P2 for the first race in Season 2. Russell gets pole by 4/10 of a second. That is our 2nd ever pole and our 1st ever front row lockout. Good things are coming this season. I can feel it.
Well, the fans here are all set. Every one of them eagerly awaiting the 58 laps of today's race.
Albert Park often seems to set teammate against teammate. From Hill and Villeneuve dueling for the 1996 win, to Bottas beating fellow Mercedes driver and pole sitter Hamilton to the win in 2019.
Albert Park is a deceptively easy track to learn, but it's just as easy to make a mistake around its walled sections and gravel traps. The street circuit is high downforce and just as heavy on brakes as it is on tyres. It's race day with the teams and drivers ready and raring to go.
Could you imagine if I pressed simulate? I would actually cry.
Well, it's great to have you with us, folks, as we settle in for the weekend's Grand Prix action. And here's George Russell settling in for the race.
After 99 previous races in Formula 1, they reached that milestone of 100 starts. What's in store for them today?
And it'll be exciting to see just what will happen here today. Brace yourselves for the Australian Grand Prix. And it's lights out and away we go.
I didn't even realise that, but in the game it is George Russell's 100th Grand Prix start. Let's go over to interval. Let's see what tyres everybody is on. An array of mediums and softs. apart from for the one hard runner, which is Verstappen, which he'll need to do that from 14th. Perez gets a bit of a stinky start. Piastri's waltz round is outside. The home man, Oscar Piastri, the man from Melbourne, at the Melbourne Grand Prix. Everybody will be rooting for him to stay. Perez says, no, you are not coming past, my good sir. Oh, Tsunoda goes for the move on Piastri. He also wants to spoil the home party. He shoves the home man into the gravel, and the home man will go over the curb. However, none of that. But unfortunately, no move is made, and Perez takes the Grand Prix lead off our pole sitter, George Russell. He shoves off his own teammate. The homeboy has lost DRS, but we're fighting. Oh, guys, chill out. Oh, and we have lost a place with George Russell. We've gained it back, though. Hello. But there was never going to be any room given there. One manager equivalent of Train Sim World. There is quite literally a train of cars here. And Russell goes around the outside of his own teammate. That wasn't what I wanted. We've given the lead up to a Red Bull car. But, do you know what? There we go, down the inside on Tsunoda. And we are back up to first and second, just like that. One has had a spin.
Now we're watching Esteban Ocon.
Is it these little handbrake turns
Oh
that
no,
they do?
that's not how to do it. And I
There you go,
wonder,
pulls the
could they have
handbrake
done
up.
anything about that?
Yeah, that is not ideal. Okay, right, that wasn't on my list of things to do, but oh well, we've been overtaken now. It is what it is. We're coming to the end of our stint anyway. We have 2 Aussies, 1 Aussie in 4th. Well, 3 Aussies already. Right, they're starting to pit now. They're starting to pit now. For any of them due in? Yeah, Perez is due in. Okay. Hards. What are they going to go into? What is Tsunoda going
And
for?
box now, box.
He's
box,
gone
box.
for mediums.
Yeah,
I don't feel like we need to match that. But let's see how the pit stop is for Perez. 2.6, that's not great, but it's not awful either. Is he going to be out in front of Tsunoda? Yes, by quite some margin. Well, not quite some margin, but a margin. Bortoletto spins. Glad it wasn't one of my drivers. 2.3, much better stop for Russell. Much better stop for Russell. Verstappen and Lawson also come in. Verstappen was on hard, so to see him come in the space of 20 laps is a bit... Whoa! Perez was right on that booty. Right on that booty of Yuki. Perez, this is where you have them both. For chips. For chips! Oh, yeah. And then Russell goes and gets the Mercedes. Is Leclerc getting his nose changed? Did Leclerc get the wing changed? With how far behind he is, it's a possibility, but I'm not sure. Swapped out an Aussie for an Aussie. All is fair. And there's an Aussie going. Is that... Daniel is alongside us. That we are 3 wide. Did Leclerc fix his damage? I don't think so, because it still says he's got some damage. So I don't think whatever it is, it's fixable. It might be floor damage. Yeah, it's probably floor damage from where he's ran wide or something. We're a whole pit stop in front of the Ferrari man, whose Ferrari's second Ferrari stint seems to be going just as well as the first. Love that. Love that. Waiting all race to get one of them. Now I don't have to worry about the thumbnail. That's a bit of stress taken off the race. Season, and knowing my upload schedule, which is, well, for this channel, 1 every quarter. No, it's not quite that rare. I'm trying to make it every week, once a week on a Sunday. So, yeah, gosh, the tyres are a little bit above the temp they're meant to be. Oh no, Russell got shoved off and he's down to P4. And Perez has broken the DRS train, so he is now free. What sort of rig is this? Through goes the Aston Martin up into P1. He didn't need to shove us off. If we pit now, we'd come out P14, which is nice, and we'd have quite the gap behind. Not a great gap in front. That underfloor damage doesn't seem to be affecting us too much, but that could be a cause of the Grand Prix, and we're going to have to scrap that underfloor after this Grand Prix. Packed. But we have a 50% chance of winning almost. In comes Tsunoda for a set of hards. He's going to be taking those to the end. He's going to have an undercut on us. But he's not going to be able to push his hards as much as we will with ours. And also, we have other cars with DRS. You know, we're sharing DRS here. So hopefully this will be more efficient than he will be. So Perez comes in now on his optimal pit lap. Let's see, we need a brilliant stop here, lads. 2.4, we'll take that, that's a brilliant stop. I don't know what's going on up there. Sonoda's passed us. Sonoda's up into third. Daniel's just there though. But in comes George Russell from the lead of the Grand Prix. And need a decent stop here as well. 2.3, that's immaculate stop. Sonoda's gone past already. Third fastest, second fastest pit stop of the day? Third fastest? Not sure. But Daniel Ricciardo's right there. Not at all. And Verstappen comes into the pits, which takes any pressure off behind. Perez is up to P4. Gotta go for it. You've got to go for it, George. Nice. You're going to give him DRS in a minute anyway, but it don't really matter. Don't really matter. Right, we're going to get DRS off this lap car, who has held us up somewhat. Piastri and Leclerc come in. Okay. So the next car is... Like, come on, man. But now the problem is he's going to be right back at us. Yeah, only 2 seconds off the lead isn't bad, but when you're that close to the win, you want the win. That's the only thing you want. It was that undercut that done it for him, so fair play. We didn't have the tyre wear to do something, to pull something like that off, so still areas we need to improve on. But it's P1 for Tsunoda, it's P2 for Perez, and it's going to be P3 for George Russell. A double podium, we'll take that. And we got the most points out of any team this weekend. That's the main thing. So I believe we are top of the constructors. We'll take that. But that was...
Today, Sergio Perez was a true hero, and he deserves every cheer he gets.
This podium is something the whole team can be proud of. Excellent strategy and perfectly executed.
We may see these kind of scenes a lot in Formula One, but it's easy to forget just what it means to the whole team. Goes Sergio Perez, and he's certainly in good company there.
It gets even better for the team, with both drivers scoring a podium finish this weekend.
Well, it wasn't exactly a walk in the park, but it was a thrilling weekend here for us all at the Australian Grand Prix. Well, Karun, how do you think they'll be feeling in the team garage at the end of that?
Well, they'll be so proud to have had both drivers on the podium. They're certainly doing something right.
And that's about that for this weekend here in Melbourne.
Join us for the next round as we head to Shanghai for all the excitement of the Chinese Grand Prix.
I apologise, my controller just died. So P2 and P3, bit of a disappointment, but Perez finished where he started and George lost 2 places. Not much between George and Perez, considering George had underbody damage, a worse underfloor anyway. And yeah, that's a bit outrageous. Fastest lap was achieved by Liam Lawson. I don't know why I didn't want to say his name, but hey. We are P2 and P3 in the Drivers' Championship, for obvious reasons, because it's the first race. And we are... oh, never mind. Where did Verstappen... oh, he got 6th. So we are tied with Red Bull, so we're not top of the constructors. We're tied with Red Bull, but obviously they're ahead because they won the race. We got the 5th fastest pit stop, which puts us 5th in the standings. Only 47 thousandths off best. George got 5th or higher, which means we have to pay him 250 grand. But we got 827. 800. Do you watch F1, Phil? Upgrade complete. The hospitality area has had a facility upgrade. But yeah, thank you all very much for watching either on YouTube or on Twitch. It means a great deal to me that this series is starting to grow in popularity. Thank you all very much for 35 subscribers. That was a very exciting race 1 of Season 2. The season looks like it could bring very positive things for us and our team, and our season objective is to be second or above, and our long-term objective for 2 seasons time is to be Constructors Champion. I want to be Constructors Champion and Drivers World Champion this season. Just based off on the first round, I reckon we can do it. But thank you all very much for watching. I shall see you all in the next one. Goodbye.